Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Korean. And today we're going to be looking at what Ubisoft is doing again. I know I've made several videos about them, and it's just kind of fascinating because they hold so many good and historically good IPs. We kind of got to see what's going on. Now, the Guillemot brothers and Tencent, which is an investment firm in China, own the majority of the stock, and they are looking at to do a buyout to take the company private. The smaller investment firm that I talked about a while back, AJ Investments, called on them to take it private so they can actually make money off their investment. So now we got this weird little cycle of what they're looking to do. And as of today, because of the announcement or the rumor um, that they are going to try to take the company private and looking at a buyout of all investors, um, their stock price has gone up. Not much, but it's gone up. And we'll take a look at it since I brought it up. But at the beginning of this year, at the peak here in February, there it was about almost $6, getting around $6, and then right here, Friday, August 30th, that's when Star Wars Outlaws was released and tank. And this is today. It's gone up 30%, essentially. For the year to date, it's gone down 40%. Because at the peak, it was close to $5.50, then dropped down to like two something. So that was over 50% drop, and that 30% jump is from the lower number, not the overall. So yeah, 30% jump sounds good, but you're still basically at six. You've lost 60% of your. You only are holding 60% of your value that you started off the year with. That's bad. So this is why they're kind of doing it, because they've got to take it private or do something. And basically, this is kind of, there's lots I've been reading, just kind of, I'm not an investor. So I'm trying to read on what's going on. So basically, they'll try to buy out all the stock. So once you buy all the stock back, you can take the company private, taking it off the stock exchange, and function as a private company, not a publicly traded company. Problem is it's easy to buy back from single investors. Um, you can force them legally to sell back in this type of process, but investment firms, it becomes more complicated because they can either be investing as an investment group with their own money that the investment group has, or they can be investing on behalf of a group of investors, and they're the middleman in between that investment, which complicates things. So this isn't a done deal, like this is going to happen soon. But here's the problem. This is why this sounds good. Maybe things will get better for Ubisoft, but in reality, it's not. And let's go through the reasons why. One, the management structure is not going to change. The Guillemot brothers will still be in charge, CEO and CFO, and they'll still be in charge of Ubisoft. They'll be making all the same changes as they've done, and this is bad. So the problem is, you have to look at it. Is it just the people they've hired can't make a good game, or is it the people in charge making the decisions that don't know how to make the right ones for the industry as it sits? And I think it's the latter. So that's one thing. The management structure, there's no sign that they're going to change their focus, their style of games that they've been putting out. And here's the next thing. The second thing is the rumors about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now there's been a lot of credible rumors coming from people who claim to have direct inside sources that have been backed up by a couple of people. So I'm still considering these rumors, but with Shadows, the game is buggy as all get out, which is saying something because Star Wars Outlaws was buggy, and they were pushing out releases more often than Windows is, and that's saying something. Seriously. So if you're pushing out that many updates and patches on the regular, That means the game was not ready to be released. And that's when we saw the stock tank was really tank was after Outlaws was released. And then with Shadows, along with it being buggy, the other rumor is they're making major changes to Yasuke's story, and I think that is to appease the Japanese market, because if they don't, their sales, however abysmal they could be, if they lose the sales in Japan, they will not survive. So they're going to have to make changes. This comes on, and after this comes a third rumor from several sources that are quoting this that, of course, once you are about to release a game in a franchise that is a continuous franchise like Assassin's Creed, you've already started working on the next one because you guys start building it, the story, and everything, and getting going because it takes a couple of years to develop and produce a video game. And the next one that's set to release is supposed to be called Assassin's Creed Hex, and this is going to take place in Salem, Massachusetts during the witch trials. And okay, this seems weird and seems kind of doesn't seem like an assassin type thing, but okay, we'll go with it. And but the problem is the three sources I looked at that are claiming to have insiders and information from insiders all say the same thing, that they claim this is going to be the gayest Assassin's Creed game ever created. Now, who said that recently? Oh yeah, Agatha all along. And those viewership numbers are horrid. Uh, they can't even get Acolyte numbers. An Acolyte is considered a failure. There are articles out I saw several articles like, oh, Agatha all along, it's a hit for MCU and it's great and blah blah blah. I was like, that's like saying, hey, this dude that spent $200 got a penny back. He got something back. It's a hit. No, it's a bad return on investment. The viewership is very low. It's not even making the top 10 charts on any viewership metric out there. From week one on, it's never made the top 10. And for a show that costs as much as that, and in a franchise like that, it should have. So, claiming that Assassin's Creed Hex is going to be the gayest Assassin's Creed game yet proves that they don't understand what gamers want. They're trying to focus their gameplay on a loud minority of players because they're the most vocal, and you have to do what we say or no. And the majority of gamers don't want that. They want a good game. And if your primary objective is to make a good game, it'll probably do well with gamers. If your primary objective is to make the gayest game, it's not going to do well across the board. Because the moment you're like, oh, this is the gayest game, I don't want to play the gayest game. I don't want to play the gayest game. I don't. That appeals 0% to me. Like, this is the gayest game out there. Well, I'm not going to play it. Why would I play that? I wouldn't even play it just to run through it and make fun of it. No, I wouldn't even download the demo. I mean, I'm out completely. No, I'm done. And there's a lot of people that are out there saying that. If this is true, that Assassin's Creed Hex is the gayest Assassin's Creed, this is the death of the Assassin's Creed franchise. That will kill off any long-term fans, with the exception of that tiny minority that really wants this. And you can't make a game. You can't make a $300 million game for 200 players. They're not forking out $1 million each for the game. They're not. You will not get your money back. Your company will be losing money. You will be losing programmers and all these and your staff. Your company will go bankrupt with that model. So why are they doing it? I don't know. I mean, you have to assume that following ideology of a small minority is more important than making a profitable game. And with that, we're looking at, even if Ubisoft goes private, that Ubisoft will eventually have to sell off its assets and intellectual property to someone else. And honestly, if I had to guess, it's going to be Microsoft, because there's a weird agreement in the UK that Ubisoft owns the streaming rights for several of the games that Microsoft owns, but Ubisoft has the streaming rights in the UK. For whatever reason, I'm not quite sure on that deal. I was trying to find more information, couldn't really find it easily, so I just stopped looking. But for Microsoft to get those streaming rights back, they need to purchase Ubisoft. And so Microsoft buying Ubisoft should be on our radar. And there's a good chance that the company going private now could be the first step in them selling off Ubisoft to another company. That's where I see it's heading. I could be wrong, but honestly, I don't know where they go. You've got one failure of a game, and you released the one that was supposed to come out. It got delayed 5 months. You had to refund everyone their money, hoping they buy it again in February on Valentine's Day, which I doubt that's going to do well. And then you've got the rumors that the next Assassin's Creed game is going to be the gayest game in the Assassin's Creed franchise. It's like they don't want to make money. Why would you do this? Ubisoft is continually making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. Well, this is what these people that tell us this is what we should do. Well, what has your track record shown? You make a good game that appeals to a majority of gamers. It sells well. It's a good game. There's very little bugs, issues that can't be fixed, and a small patch here and there. And voila, guess what? You've got it. You made money. Your game makes money. It's profitable. The business keeps going. But at this rate, it's like you're trying to tank Ubisoft. And I don't know why you would do something like that when you own a business. Why are you trying to burn down what you are trying to run? I don't understand it. And this is why I'm waiting for Ubisoft to crash. And when it does, I won't rejoice, but I do hope that Microsoft purchases it and we get a new Rayman game. Because, man, those are fun games. And maybe they can do better with these intellectual properties, because honestly, Ubisoft is not in a position to continue making good games anymore. They're not. You have one failure now. You almost assuredly have another failure with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and if the rumors are true about Assassin's Creed Hex, you might as well just shut the doors now and save yourself time and money and get out of the company what you can get out of it. Because the value of your company is going to diminish, and your sell-off price is going to drop. I don't foresee any game that they're putting out that can rebound the equity in their company. And with that equity gone, you are the bargain bin company that any other company can come and buy. They'll buy it just for the rights, and everyone that works for you is out of a job. And that's a bad strategy. So Ubisoft, get your act together, because everything that we're seeing is pointing into your complete meltdown. And that's not good for you, and that's not good for gamers that love these franchises. And I think you owe the gamers respect for continually keeping you in business for all these decades. So, there's just an update, and hey, guess that's what it is, isn't it? So, until next time, my friends, as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.